welcome to this video. I thought we would take a look at trying to see what ChatGPT can do. So I've got a script, and the script is pretty simple. I've got my applications in an external hard drive, but when I update my Mac, some of those applications get installed on my local disk on the Mac Mini in the applications folder. Well, I don't want all of that space to be used up, so I want those applications to be moved over into my external drive where I have applications. So what I've instructed ChatGPT to do is to make a script, and the script is going to be running to help prune and clean up my applications folder so that I will be saving on that space. So this is the logic of the script, right? It's going to look for my applications inside of here. It's going to define this variable, external applications, and it's going to keep a track of the log in MoveApps.sh. It's going to check to make sure that my external applications folder exists right here. So it's going to make a directory, and then it's going to log the changes. We're going to get the date, the time. It's going to push all that to the log file, and next we're going to see if these are system applications which I don't want moved, right? I want those to just stay and not get moved. That's what this function is doing right here. It's going to check to see if the application is signed, and then it's going to move the non-system apps to the external folder, and it should be doing all of this for us. It's going to echo this to the screen so that we know what's going on, and finally, if all of our conditions are met, it's going to move the applications to the external folder. So I thought I'd take it a step further and just show you that ChatGPT now has some hooks into it where it can do some of the coding for you. So I thought I would try that out. So I've got this icon right here, and it says work with. So I like to work with this through the iTerm application. Let's see what this does. So if I click here, let's see what it does. So working with iTerm, I'll say okay. I'll say okay. I'll say just say execute. Let's see what it does. So I think the way they want this to work is for me to have a script already. So let's just try that. So I'm going to save this script to a location. So let's just do nano. We'll call it MoveApps.sh, and let's paste in our script. And let's go ahead and write this out. MoveApps.sh, and let's exit this. Control X. And again, this is me doing it manually. I didn't want to, give it the permission. All right, so now it's executable. All right, well, let's try to see what happens here. So, in fact, let's see. All right, so we're working with iTerm, and I'd say, okay, run the script. It is called MoveApps.sh. Let's see what happens here. It's not doing anything yet. All right, well, let's see if ChatGPT is monitoring the output. So got ChatGPT top left, my terminal top right, that's iTerm 2. Then I've got my external applications folder on the left and my internal on the right. You can see it's Macintosh applications. So let's see what happens if I run the script. MoveApps, and okay, looks like it completed, and let's see what it did. So most of the stuff we got a permissions denied, and that was to move Zoom. In fact, let's see if it moved anything. Look at that. Let's see, Zoom got permission denied, and script completed. Check the logs at moveapp.logs.txt for details. All right, so it looks like it was trying to remove it and then erase it. Let's make a new tab here, and let's see what this in fact does. So the tab, our script should be at external home and then moved app logs.txt. And here we go. Here is our output. So it started here, one password, failed move, failed move, failed move. So the only one it moved was the Moo player. But the good thing I'm seeing is that none of these are system apps. These are third-party apps. So let's see. Well, we can see that it did not move any of these apps, and Steer Mouse got moved and only Moo. Okay, well, let's put this here for now in the back burner and let's troubleshoot. Okay, so you can see, all right, so this should be hooked into iTerm now. I'll just say what happened. How about that? All right, well, that's pretty cool. So you can see that it is interacting with the terminal. It said that it encountered permission errors when trying to delete Zoom application. That's pretty cool. Permission denied. Mac restricts applications to certain application components. Missing Sudo command. The script likely tried to execute MV and RM without elevated privileges. Okay, so it says to resolve this issue, you need to run the script or commands with administrative privileges. So basically, they're giving us no, I'm not sure about this one. It's saying, okay, manually move with elevated privileges. That's option number 1. What's option number 2? Update the script. Here we go. Modify your script to include sudo commands that require elevated privileges. For example, nz shell. So basically sudo mv app external apps directory and then sudo rm rf application. And then we're saying if you do not want to modify the script, you can temporarily grant admin privileges when executing the script. Okay, well, let's go with option number 2. Let's update our script. So let's do nano move app script, and let's find the place where it's actually doing the move. So it's going to be down here, I would imagine. You can probably just search for it. Let's try where is. So control W, we're looking for MV. How about the first instance of that? Here we go. Move apps to the external folder. So basically they want us to put in a sudo in front of this. So let's do that, sudo. And then one more under the RM. So let's do sudo RM app. All right, let's control output, save this and exit. All right, let's try this again. Okay, so the password, here we go. In fact, let me move this internal applications, external applications. Type in my password correctly. Directory not empty. Okay, we're making a little bit of progress. So it's saying like, okay, these applications already exist. So that's what's going on right here. So we'll say like, okay, what happened? Okay, here we go. Number 3, directory not empty errors. This indicates the script attempted to remove directories that still contain files. All right, so we've got full access to the terminal. Yep, that's not the problem. The problem is that we want to overwrite the applications. And the problem is that these applications already exist in some locations. We need to handhold it a little bit. That's it. I think the problem is that the applications already exist in the external home app folder. This script needs to overwrite those existing applications. I'll probably say you are right. So so they want us to do a move force option to overwrite existing applications. Okay. So here's the new script. And again, let's see where that logic is. There should be a force coming up right here. Here we go, rm-rf. So that's going to be the removal of the application. And then it's going to move the application with the message. So let's just go ahead and copy this. And let's go back to Nano. And let's see, I want to erase everything. Let me just press, here we go, Apple A, delete. So the keyword there is Control K. Let's try this again. Control. So I want to move to the top of the line. Press Alt. option backslash. Here we go. Option and backslash. Okay. Whoops. That's not what I want. Okay, so I think I got my new script in here. Let's go ahead and press Control O. Press Enter. Control X. And let me just move this down a little bit so you can see it. All right, here we go. Password. There we go. So that's good. So we can see on the left-hand side, we're seeing our third-party apps get moved over to the external applications folder. So if we look here, yep, these are all, ooh, it did not get WhatsApp. Wonder what happened with WhatsApp. Let's see. I also tried to get Safari for some reason. Not sure why I tried to get Safari, but this is a success. Let's see. Skipped Apple Sign. Oh, Apple Sign WhatsApp. Maybe got it from the App Store, possibly. One then Wiper. What is my Wiper app? Ah, okay, that's, yep. That also came from the App Store. This supposed to be App Store. So pretty cool. And again, right here, App Store, App Store, App Store. So we should probably, so this is a success. The script did work. So pretty good with the combination of ChatGPT. It moved over these applications as well. I just installed that. Crossover. Look at that. So pretty cool. I was able to move all of these things successfully. So 1Password, Alt Tab, background music, display link manager. Very cool. So I think we got a new script, so that's good. So first test is pretty cool. So we know that it can read the contents of your terminal and use that to inform you in what you should do next. So pretty clever. All right, ChatGPT. Well, that was a first look at the integrations of the applications, and it gets a A+ so far. We'll see what happens in the future. If you like this video and this content, go ahead and click on the plus. If you want to see more, go ahead and consider subscribing to the channel. And as always, thank you for watching. Peace. Bye.